It's like a greatest hits collection of missed layups. I can't even believe this is real. I just stumbled across of it. There's 2 different videos now floating around out there, and it's unbelievable.
Angel Reese just made the biggest bluff in WNBA history. Pay me more or I'm out. The only problem? She backed up that bold statement with a performance that had fans wondering if she was trying out for a home renovation show instead of a basketball game. This wasn't just a rough night, it was a bricklaying masterpiece. After demanding superstar money on her podcast, Reese stepped onto the court and went 5 for 13 in her next game. And if you think that's bad, one of those shots didn't just miss, it smacked the bottom of the backboard like it was trying to escape the gym. The timing couldn't have been worse for her argument, or better for everyone who enjoys comedy.
Because I'm hearing like, yeah, they don't give us, if y'all don't give us what we want, like, we sitting out.
That's a possibility.
I guarantee you, the intelligent folks, and there are plenty in the WNBA, are saying, will you it's just shut up. Sit out.
Girl, y'all benefited from everything. Y'all youngins benefited from NIL.
What does that mean? We deserve more.
So let's break it down. Ever wondered what would happen if a WNBA player threatened to hold the entire league hostage over salary demands? Well, Angel Reese just gave us the answer, and it's hilarious. On a recent episode of her podcast Unapologetically Angel, which, let's be honest, should be renamed Unintentionally Comedic, Reese sat down with her partner in delusion, Dee Carrington, and dropped what might be the most over-the-top ultimatum in league history. She didn't just advocate for higher pay. She straight up suggested that if she doesn't get what she wants, she's willing to boycott.
I love how y'all have selective hearing. I said I'm hearing if they don't give us what we want, we sitting out. And that's the truth. Good.
This is the same person that literally said she didn't know what her WNBA salary was and that it didn't even cover her rent.
Yep, you heard that right. Angel Reese, who has yet to prove herself as a dominant force in the WNBA, thinks she has the leverage to shake the league to its core. But here's the problem. When your argument is, I deserve more money, the worst thing you can do is follow it up with a performance that would make even rec league players cringe. And that's exactly what happened. While Reese was busy demanding superstar treatment, Caitlin Clark was actually playing like a superstar, pulling in record-breaking ratings, filling arenas, and, oh yeah, making her shots. Meanwhile, Reese was turning layups into viral blooper reels. So, is the WNBA really shaking in fear over this boycott threat? Or is Reese just giving fans another reason to laugh? Stay tuned, because we're about to dive into the most embarrassing highlights, well, lowlights, of Angel Reese's so-called superstar run.
My expectation is to be one of the best players in the world one day. I wouldn't expect anything less than that.
More history for the FIBA rookie.
At this point, continue to be myself, and I think a lot of good will come from that.
The moment Angel Reese stepped onto the court after her bold boycott threat, it was like the basketball gods decided to have a little fun. If you're going to demand superstar money, you'd better deliver a superstar performance, right? Well, let's just say Reese's game film from that night looked more like an instructional video on how not to finish at the rim.
Gets to Sykes, lofts it up. Reese on the cleanup. Power dribble to separate.
Facing off against Aaliyah Boston's Vinyl Basketball Club in the Unrivaled League, Reese had the perfect opportunity to prove why she deserved a bigger paycheck. Instead, she delivered a masterclass in missed layups. We're talking wide-open shots, point-blank attempts, and bunnies that didn't just rim out, they clanked off the backboard like someone forgot to calibrate her shot meter. The timing of this meltdown couldn't have been worse. Just days after claiming her WNBA salary doesn't even cover one of her bills, she put up a performance that had fans wondering if the rent was due mid-game. At one point, it almost seemed like her teammates stopped passing her the ball, maybe out of secondhand embarrassment.
She just threatened the lockout. If y'all don't give us what we want, we sitting out. This is why sometimes you probably should have somebody look over a podcast. She's threatening to go on strike. I actually understand it's the way negotiations work in the CBA, not on a podcast.
Now, let's rewind for a second. Reese's rookie contract pays her about $73,000 this year as part of a 4-year, $325,000 deal. Completely standard for WNBA rookies. But according to Angel, this salary barely covers her basic expenses. She went viral on TikTok, ranting about how the WNBA doesn't even pay one of my bills. Then she casually revealed that she's paying $8,000 per month in rent, which adds up to $96,000 per year. more than her entire WNBA salary.
I just hope y'all know the WNBA don't pay my bills at all. I don't even think that pays one of my bills. Let me do the math real quick.
He might cover that. Yeah, it definitely covers that.
What is I don't even know my salary.
Listen, nobody's saying she can't live the lifestyle she wants. But maybe, just maybe, if your rent alone is more than your entire WNBA salary, the league isn't the problem. It's called budgeting, Angel. Instead of rethinking her approach, Reese doubled down on her boycott threat, hopping onto social media to make it crystal clear that she wasn't just speaking off the cuff, she meant it. She's ready to sit out if her financial demands aren't met.
No, my rent is more than that. It's $8,000. I'm living beyond my means.
Here's where it gets even funnier. One of her biggest complaints is that future rookies like USC's Juju Watkins could end up making more money than her. Reese whined, "The ones coming in this year will still be on the rookie contract, but the ones after that, they're probably going to be making more than us."
But the women coming in, not this year, but next year.
Yeah.
The ones coming in this year will still be on the rookie contract again.
Mm-hmm.
The ones that the year after, they gonna get more. They probably gonna be making more than us.
Well, they are.
I'm
They
hurt.
are. Like, yeah. I've been in the meetings. They are.
That's not injustice, Angel. That's literally how professional sports contracts work. She signed a 4-year rookie-scale deal, and even if the WNBA negotiates a new CBA that raises rookie salaries, she's still locked into the contract she agreed to. That's how every league operates. Imagine if every second-year NBA player demanded a raise just because the salary cap went up. It doesn't work that way.
Like, if I'm an NBA owner, I didn't get rich by wasting a couple million on something that has no chance of making money. These two, sit out. See what happens. Now, I would miss watching the Fever. I would miss watching Caitlin Clark, but I wouldn't miss anything else.
And let's not forget, the WNBA still lost around $40 million last season. They're not exactly sitting on NBA-level revenue. The league can't afford to start ripping up contracts just because Angel Reese doesn't like hers anymore.
You lost 40, 50 million. You know who would clap for you all sitting out? The NBA. So they don't have to subsidize your dumbasses to the tune of 40 to 50 million a year.
But let's get back to what really matters: performance. If you're going to demand special treatment, you better play like an all-star. Instead, Reese is out here missing layups like she's testing the structural integrity of the backboard. So let's get real. If Angel Reese thinks she's too good for her WNBA contract, she might want to start proving it on the court. Because right now, the only thing she's leading the league in is missed layups.
Final as a club has not made a three-pointer. Gray's turnaround, no good. Final third in the league in three-point field goals. Reese looks to stick with it, naps it back. Angel Reese, no.
But here's the problem. The numbers tell a completely different story. Angel Reese talks a big game about being one of the faces of the WNBA. But when you actually look at the ratings, it's clear that the real reason people are tuning in has nothing to do with her. In fact, when she played without Caitlin Clark on the other side of the court, the viewership numbers plummeted.
Angel Reese last night, once again, had one of the worst shooting games in the history of planet Earth. For what's supposed to be a big... I mean, what in the hell is going on here? I understand her team won. I get it. 5 of 13 from the field. 13 rebounds, 5 offensive rebounds, only 10 points.
It turns out people aren't tuning in to watch Reese miss layups and complain about her paycheck. They're tuning in for actual star power, and we all know who that is. Let's be real. If Reese were truly a huge ratings draw, wouldn't her own games be selling out? Wouldn't her jersey be flying off the shelves? Wouldn't people be fighting to get a ticket to see her play? Instead, it's Caitlin Clark leading the WNBA in attendance, jersey sales, and viewership numbers. Meanwhile, Reese is still out here acting like she's the one bringing all the attention to the league, while shooting 39% from the field and missing layups that would make a middle school coach shake their head.
This is the same player that just came out and said, if they don't pay them the bag in the WNBA, we sitting out. Quote, we sitting out. What? I mean, after seeing her miss routine layups over and over and over again, I'm like, how the hell can this person possibly be demanding more money from anyone?
The missed layup montage making the rounds online is one of the funniest things you'll see all year. We're talking wide open shots, no defenders in sight, and yet she's still managing to find new and creative ways to brick them. At this point, someone needs to check if the backboard owes Reese money, because she's been punishing it non-stop.
Oh, Reese! 3-on-3, part 13, let's get it! Classic long two. Bang! PSA, no rims or backboards were harmed during the filming of this video. But viewers are encouraged to look away. Bang! What? Bang! I heard her say that she might sit out if the WNBA doesn't pay her what she deserves. They say $1 million for every missed layup is fair. Bang! They are stat penning queen properly. Fair wages for all. I repeat, fair wages. Remember, they're coming to see her. Long two, butter pecan. Bang!
The internet predictably had a field day as clips of these missed layups went viral. Fans responded with comments dripping in sarcasm. Pay her, please, and give her the max appeared repeatedly under videos of her bricks. Others didn't hold back, labeling Reese a bricklayer and questioning her offensive skills with comments like, "She is so overrated, and Reese the only one I've seen make a layup look hard."
Guys, how many times have I said she shouldn't be practicing no jumpers from nowhere? I mean, she ought to be just layup after layup after layup. Because let's be real, a lot of the heat she takes is because of this. And it's because it's not to be believed.
But let's get serious for a second. This is not how you prove you deserve more money. Picture this. You walk into your boss's office, demand a raise, and then immediately fumble a simple task that's literally in your job description. That's exactly what happened here. Reese talked about how she deserves a bigger paycheck and then went out and put up a highlight reel of missed layups. You can't make this up.
Say what you want about Angel Reese. You can't tell me she isn't the star of every show every time she's on the court. I can't even hate on this. She's Larry, Moe, and Curly all at once. The Three Stooges. I mean, wow. Come on. I think the worst part is Lisa Leslie risked her legacy and credibility coaching her with no visible improvement so far anyways. Good God. Laugh out loud. But she gets rebounds. She's threatening leagues over pay.
Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is actually elevating the WNBA, selling out arenas, breaking viewership records, and putting up legitimate superstar performances. While Reese is busy demanding money she hasn't earned, Clark is letting her game do the talking. That's the difference between a real star and someone who just wants to be treated like one. At this point, Reese might want to reconsider the boycott idea, because after this performance, the WNBA might not even notice if she sat out.
And isn't she shooting like 35% from the field? Can somebody tell me who in the world watches a 35% shooter from the paint that is basically grabbing her own rebounds from her own missed shot?
When measuring star power, social media followers and podcast engagement might seem impressive, but the real test lies in actual viewership numbers. And when it comes to Angel Reese, the numbers tell a story she probably doesn't want to hear. The Unrivaled League, where she currently plays, started off with promise, but interest has plummeted to record lows, dipping below 100,000 viewers. This isn't just a decline, it's a dramatic drop-off that suggests fans simply aren't tuning in to watch her play.
But her attention, her notoriety is based off Caitlin Clark, because she wins the national title. First thing she does, she mocks Caitlin Clark. And then she doesn't even celebrate with her teammates. So she's made it personal with Caitlin Clark. Then she's played off of that.
The reality of Reese's supposed star power becomes even more questionable when you realize that an unrivaled game featuring her couldn't even outperform a college basketball matchup between UCLA and Nebraska on the Big Ten Network. When a professional league game gets outdrawn by a random college contest, it raises serious concerns about just how much pull Reese actually has. If she's as influential as she claims to be, why aren't people showing up to watch?
Yes, it is unrivaled. It is also unwatched. Look, let's be honest. We can sugarcoat it all you want, but if you don't have Caitlin Clark playing women's basketball, or if you're not the NCAA tournament playing women's basketball, you got nothing. Zero, zip, nothing.
This lack of interest extends beyond the unrivaled league. WNBA attendance figures tell the same story. Games featuring Caitlin Clark consistently pack arenas, while those headlined by Reese struggle to fill seats. Empty arenas don't lie. and neither do TV ratings. Both make one thing abundantly clear. Clark is the true driving force behind women's basketball's rise in popularity, not Reese.
Actually, if you really want to go into business, you need to pay some money back. You made absolutely nothing. You haven't really enhanced the league. Caitlin Clark has.
We have to be completely honest about this, whether we like it or not. 90% of this revived or renewed interest is really based around one singular play.
While Reese spends her time focusing on contract negotiations and making demands, Clark takes a completely different approach. Instead of positioning herself as the reason the WNBA is growing, she shows gratitude for the league's progress. I think where the WNBA is right now is pretty incredible. I think a lot of people, or most people, would not believe it's in the place that it is right now, Clark said in a recent interview. That's the difference. One player issues ultimatums, while the other acknowledges and appreciates the moment.
I mean, I'm not huge on comparing the WNBA and the NBA. I don't really think that's fair. Obviously, I think where the WNBA is right now is pretty incredible. I think a lot of people, or most people, would not believe it's in the place that it is right now. So I think when people always ask me this question, where I think it'll be in 5 years, is it's hard for me to answer because people didn't even think we'd be right here, right now. And I think really sky's the limit. I think when you see, our TV numbers when we're on, national television, we're averaging over 1 million viewers or whatever it is. The All-Star game, I think, was over 4 million viewers. It's just really great numbers. So the more opportunities we're given, I think the more it's going to shine and get better and better. I think also the talent level in college is continuing to get a lot better, and as those players come into the league, and it's going to continue to improve. We're adding 2 new teams next year, and then probably another team year after that.
Some more games.
Yeah, more games, which I think will be good. It will lengthen the season a little bit more.
Reese threatens boycotts, while Clark focuses on improvement. Clark isn't demanding special treatment. She's spending her off-season refining her game and preparing for her second year in the league. She's putting in the work to elevate her performance, not just her paycheck. It's a stark contrast in attitudes. One player believes she deserves more based on hype alone, while the other understands that true value comes from consistent effort, results, and contribution to team success.
If I was funding this league, I'd say, all right, hold on. You got a golden goose. We all got one in Caitlin Clark. These people that are criticizing Caitlin Clark, these people that are hitting Caitlin Clark, these people that are talking as if they are as important as Caitlin Clark are hurting our opportunity. They're hurting the...
So who's actually responsible for the explosion of interest in women's basketball? The data makes it crystal clear. Reese's belief that she's a major viewership draw simply doesn't hold up when you look at the numbers. Meanwhile, Clark continues to break attendance records, dominate TV ratings, and drive the league's popularity to unprecedented heights. This isn't just a passing trend. It's a definitive statement. Caitlin Clark, not Angel Reese, is the primary force behind women's basketball's current surge in popularity. This isn't an opinion or a biased take. It's what the numbers prove across every measurable metric, whether it's ticket sales, television ratings, or merchandise demand. Clark is in a league of her own, while Reese continues to overestimate her influence.
I will continue to use my voice to speak for what we want and deserve as a league. Thank you. No, that's not what you did. You said me, I. They're going to get more than us. I deserve more, blah, blah, blah. Oh, shut.
The undeniable truth about the rapid growth of women's basketball is reflected in hard statistics. While one player is making headlines for demanding a bigger paycheck, another is quietly selling out arenas and breaking viewership records. As one analyst bluntly put it, if they were an NBA owner, they wouldn't want to miss watching The Fever or Caitlin Clark. But everything else? Not so much. That statement perfectly sums up reality. Clark's influence far outweighs those who claim to be just as vital to the WNBA's success. The future of women's basketball isn't being shaped by podcast rants and empty threats. It's being built on genuine skill, authenticity, and a player who lets her performance do the talking. The contrast couldn't be clearer. Ability versus entitlement. Substance versus spectacle. Fans are making their voices heard through their viewership, ticket sales, and engagement, and the numbers don't lie. The real question is, will Angel Reese ever recognize this reality? Or will she continue believing in her own hype while the world moves on without her? What do you think? Let us know in the comments, like the video, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Click the video on the screen, and we'll see you in the next one.